Alrighty then, let's do another video. Welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about my top 10 new for 2025 games. I'm trying to keep this shorter than the movie video because that was near 30 minutes and my throat was in agony afterwards. We're gonna try to keep this short. So let's get straight into it. Games that didn't make the list. These are games that I wanted to talk about, or at the very least, bring up every game that I played this year. A variety of the games that I did play this year were games from the games that are older, games from previous years. Um, so all these considered, I like to think I did a good job on games that I played this year. But yeah, Mario Kart World, Xenoblade X, Trails to Daybreak 2, Tales of Grace's F, Monster Hunter Wilds, Ninja Gaiden 4, Pokemon Legends ZA, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. All great games. Great is stretch for some of them, but like all at the very least, really really good games. Like my favorite out of these ended up being Ninja Gaiden 4 and Tales of Grace's F, which I'll talk about in another video tomorrow. Um, but yeah, um, I would highly recommend playing these games. These are all really good, just weren't enough to crack the top 10. Number 10 was Avowed. Avowed is a game that I had high hopes for. I was very excited for this game, and I was a tiny bit disappointed. It was more of a I was expecting it to be out. I was expecting it to be outstanding, and it ended up being really really good, and then being great. I still loved it. I still really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the combat. The story is relatively simple, but it's effective. It works. I don't have any real complaints about the story. It doesn't do anything, you know, horrendously big. It doesn't, try to wow you. It just tries to tell a consistent story, and I like that about it. I think the environments are really cool. I really enjoyed the environments and the visuals of the game. Overall, I think my disappointment with the Vow just came with I wanted it to be more, but I still really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than the Outer Worlds too. I played the first bit of the Outer Worlds 2. I played about 10 hours of it. I just wasn't enjoying myself. I beat Avowed and I really, really liked it. This game gets a lot of crap, or some crap at the very least, but I think it's great. Next up, Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is a game that I, once again, also had really high expectations for, especially as saw after, like, IGN and whatnot was giving it a 10. I was like, this better be the greatest video game ever created, and it's not. Um, but that's to say, I still really enjoyed it. Like, everything in the top 10 is, like, at the very least, a 9, right? I still really enjoy it myself. I think my biggest thing with Bonanza is being bored at certain points in time. At certain points in times, right? Like smashing stuff is cool, but I feel like after a certain point in time, the gameplay loop kind of got a little bit repetitive and didn't work for me as well as I would have liked it to. I think it's a gorgeous looking video game. It's a very fun game to start, but over time, let's say it's a bit repetitive. Music's great. The story is fun. A lot of the boss fights are phenomenal. A lot of the boss fights are really good. The King K. Ooh, spoilers! The boss fight at the end of the game. The game's been out for 7 months now. At this point, the King K. Rool boss fight is great. It is a really good boss fight. Um, and overall, I'm not mad that I bought this game. I still think it's really good. I was just a little bit let down, especially it kind of got a tiny bit worse when I played Mario Odyssey for the first time not long after that, and that I adore that game. That game is amazing. It is a joy. I'll talk about that tomorrow. Um, but yeah, this game still really really good, still great, still would highly recommend, but just didn't do what I thought it would personally. Next up, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I finished this game. What time is it? It is currently. Oh boy, let's check. What time is it? 6:57 at night. I finished this game about 2 or 3 hours ago. Um, there's been a lot of controversy regarding Metroid Prime 4, and I'll say this much: the game has some very glaring issues. It does. Soul Valley is not good. It isn't. Ultimately, I don't think Soul Valley didn't bother me as much. I still had a bit of fun there, but the game is still not great, right? Not the Soul Valley is still not great, right? The NPCs didn't bother me. as much as it bothers other people. I think the biggest reason why the NPCs didn't bother me as much is because I'm not a Metroid diehard. You know, I like the series. The first ever Metroid game that I beat was Metroid Prime Remaster earlier this year, and I really enjoyed that. But ultimately, I'm not like, I don't. I'm not a person that really understands what at this point in time what makes Metroid Metroid. I've only played 2 of these games. I would love to play more. I would really, really love to play more, and I'm hoping to do that next year. So I've only played these 2 games, so I don't really understand what makes Metroid Metroid at this point. And maybe if I were to come back after I figure that out, and I see the NPCs, I know a lot of people talk about isolation and whatnot. If I see the NPCs, I'd probably change my mind. They didn't bother me as much. And then lastly, the last issue that I wanted to touch on before I get to my positives, the hint system. It doesn't bother me at all. That doesn't bother me at all. Simply because I am an idiot. I'm stupid. I cannot solve a puzzle to save my life. I remember I was playing Metroid Prime 4 as well as Tales of Grace's F around the same time. Before, whatnot. And I was doing a Tales of Grace's F puzzle. It was like the final dungeon in that game, the final 2 dungeons of that game. I was doing a puzzle in that game. Wanted to end it all. I was so annoyed. I was so upset. I love that game. I was so upset. And then I got to Prime 4. I was forced to do like another puzzle or like another like use your head thing. I was like, oh man, this is not great. This is not for me. I can't do puzzles to save my life, let alone a JRPGs. And I played Indiana Jones last year. Can't do it. But so that's why I'm not mad about the hit system. It's there for people like me. It's there for people that are stupid, and that's fine. My positives. The game is gorgeous. The game looks great. I love the Metroid Prime art style in general, but the game genuinely looks really, really good. It's insane that it's running. That quality mode specifically is 4K 60, and performance mode is 1080 120 FPS, which is nutty to me, which is crazy, because most games now don't do that. But yeah, the game looks great. It plays like a Metroid Prime game. There's a little bit of clunk in there, but once again, that's kind of what I expect with the Metroid with having played Metroid Prime. With a little bit of clunk, plays really well. The story is fine. Ultimately, I don't think it does. It does much for me. It's not. It's like Avowed in the sense it's relatively simple. It knows what it's doing and knows who its audience is, and that's completely fine. But I think the biggest compliment that I can give this game is that I had so much fun with exploration and doing stuff. I 100%ed this game. I did. I 100%ed this video game. Soul Valley and all. And I genuinely, and I had a fun time with it. I had so much fun doing it. I was worried that I wouldn't complete this game before the end of the year and then it wouldn't make this list and whatnot. But we got it done. 100%. I had so much fun with exploring all the different areas, and I cannot wait to do it again at some point in the future, because this is definitely a game that I would want to return to at some point. Alright, number 7, Trails in the Sky First Chapter. I am, if you've seen a video on my channel, I am a big Trails fan. I am. I love Trails. It's probably my favorite video game franchise. There are 2 Trails games in my top 10 video games of all time. Love the series to death. So naturally, when they announced a remake of the first game of the series, I was very, very happy. And Trails in the Sky First Chapter is really, really good. The thing about it is it's such a classic JRPG. It's not, too big. It doesn't go overboard. You're not fighting God at the end. It is a classic just JRPG. You're trying to stop a coup, and you're traveling around Liberl with your friends. It is a lot of fun. Naturally, I love Trails, so I know where things go after this, and it gets more complicated going forward. But for this one specifically, especially because this is the first game in the entire franchise, it is simple. I love what they did with gameplay is probably my favorite playing Trails game. How they implemented systems from obviously OG Trails of the Sky, but as well as implemented, Brave Order systems from Trails of Cold Steel, and the action combat that Daybreak and Trails Beyond the Horizon are known for, especially Trails Beyond the Horizon. I think that game's action combat is better than Daybreak and Daybreak 2's. I played the Japanese version, I gotta point that out. It's better than Daybreak and Daybreak 2's. And so Trails in the Sky takes that and enhances it, makes it just even better, or it fortifies it. It's so good. The characters are all great. I think out of the entire Trails series, Liberl has my favorite cast of characters altogether. Is close between them and Cold Steel. The Cold Steel characters mean more to me, but the Liberl characters I think overall are better. The one thing that brings Trails in the Sky first chapter down is that I think this is probably my least favorite story in the Trails game. And that's just because overall it's simple, right? And it's simple kind of to its detriment, especially when you compare it to other games in the franchise. I firmly believe that I'm talking about the original now. If I had played the original game first, I'm not sure I'd probably be a Trails fan. However, to be fair, I think if I played this game first, I probably would be a Trails fan. I think this game actually makes that game's story a little bit better, if you know what I mean. Bringing it to a modern day, not changing some things, but letting changes some things to fit a modern audience. I think this game makes that game's story better, and if anything, that makes me so excited for Trails of the Sky second chapter, because Trails of the Sky second chapter is a top 3 Trails game for me. It's my third favorite Trails game. I adore that game. I think that game is awesome. I think that game is perfect. I think it's the most perfect Trails game out of all of them. I love it, right? So I'm very excited for this. And if you haven't played Trails in the Sky first chapter, there's a demo. I think it's still available. Go play it. Go play Trails. Just buy Trails. Just play Trails. Live, laugh, love, breathe Trails at this point, man. Number 6 was Split Fiction. I'll keep this one short. This game appealed to me just because I'm a writer. I like writing. I enjoy writing. I enjoy creating my own worlds. I'm working on stuff, right? Not as we speak, but at the moment is a lot of fun. And so when this game was announced, I was like, oh my goodness! A game from the developers It Takes Two that's about writers. This game is for me, and it was. It's really good. It was a fun time. I played it with a friend. We had a very fun time. The story overall, I still think is really good, but I don't think it's as good as It Takes Two, all things considered. But it's still really, really good. And it's a nice looking game, great looking game. Great areas, great worlds, great level design. Just overall, very, very fun. If you have somebody that you like playing video games with, please do. Do that, and you'll have a great time. Doom: The Dark Ages is a departure, in a sense, from both Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. I actually enjoyed this game more than Doom Eternal. I think what helps is the shield. Running around with a shield was so much fun, but I think as an experience in itself, I had more fun with Doom: The Dark Ages. I think it's because it feels more. While also being fast, it also feels heavy. It feels like there's weight to your punches. You feel more like a badass than. You feel more like a badass. I won't say than Doom Eternal, because that's probably not true. But I felt more like a badass. And the other extra stuff that they added onto it. Mech combat was a little bit weird, but it was fun. Dragon combat was also a little bit weird, but it was fun. There are just these things that I think just work for me. And overall, I had a blast playing it. I did. Number 4, Ghost of Yotei. This game, I don't think I was expecting it to be as good as it was. I think this game is better than Tsushima, personally. The combat's better. I think a lot of the side characters aren't as good as Tsushima's side characters, but I think Atsu I enjoyed more than Jin Sakai, simply because I love a revenge story. I think revenge stories are fun. That's one of the things that I'm working on personally. I'm working on aside from one other thing, I'm working on a revenge story. And I think they are very, very fun. I think the villains are threatening, and they're very easy to want to go after. They're very easy to hate. Um, Atsu's motivation and her uncovering of things that happened um, that happened during the incident, as well as things that happened after, was very fun to navigate. The game is just fun to play, and as usual with the ghosts of with one of these games, it is just beautiful. It is gorgeous, and then the music was actually surprisingly really good. I don't remember the music from Ghost of Tsushima all that well, but I do remember the music from Ghost of Yotei, and I think it was great. All things considered, I think it was great. So yeah, Ghost of Yotei, highly recommend. In any other year, it probably would have been like top 3 games of the year, but this year there's some. That's my phone. This year there are some really good games that came out. Really good games that I enjoyed. Number 3, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles. This game is great. Finally got to play this game for the first time this year, as when it got re-released. And it's great. If you're going for Ivalice Chronicles specifically, I think combat aside, because obviously tactical RPGs haven't really been my thing. I've enjoyed some of the ones that I've played, but ultimately they don't do as much for me as a regular turn-based RPG or action RPGs and whatnot. Um, this game plays great. It was genuinely a fun tactical combat to play. And the story and the voice acting. Like I said, we're going with Ivalice, the remaster specifically, not the original version. The story and the voice acting, phenomenal, genuinely great, genuinely believable. Um, oh, there's twists and turns in there that I enjoy, and I understand now why people say this is one of the best Final Fantasy games. It is amazing. I personally wouldn't put it top 3 for me, but it is still amazing, all things considered. I'm really glad to have played this game. Number 2, Dispatch. Dispatch kind of came out of nowhere for me. I remember it being announced at the Game Awards, and then the game kind of came out, and I wanted to buy it because I'm a big Critical Role fan, but as well as I love Telltale games, and a lot of the actors in this game I'm a fan of, whether it be, like I said, Critical Role or Aaron Paul or Jeffrey Wright. Love Jeffrey Wright. I genuinely enjoy a lot of these actors' work. And so it came out. I forgot it was coming out. It came out. I wanted to buy it, and then I was having issues with my bank. My credit card just did not want to work for like 2 weeks. I'm not sure what that was about. But then I got around to playing it, and I loved it. I love these stories about superheroes or villains that are not, clear-cut superheroes like Superman. I love Superman, but like not clear-cut superheroes. They have their issues. They have their problems, like a Suicide Squad type thing, and I do love those stories. Besides the original Suicide Squad, we don't talk about that movie. And I think this game does it really well. All the characters are relatively well written. There are a lot of twists and turns in there. Some were predictable, some weren't. And great art style, pretty good music, all things considered. Great gameplay. I wasn't expecting the gameplay that type of gameplay, but I didn't hate it. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a little bit stressful at times, so I had a lot of fun with it. And ultimately, I think I would be very happy to see a season 2. Ad hoc, whatever you guys are doing next, whether it be Dispatch Season 2 or the Critical Role game, Project Exandria, I will be there day 1. I will be playing that day 1. I don't care. I'll be there. Also, if you're not Team Invisigal, you are less of a human being to me. I'm joking, kinda. Anyway, let's move on. Number 1, to nobody's surprise, to absolutely nobody's surprise, because of course it is. It is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Now, listen, right? This game's been getting a lot of exposure recently. Not a lot of it been good. I think, and I said this when it first came out back in April. I finished it in May, in early May. I made a quick review on it. Clair Obscura Expedition 33 means a lot to me because it is a story about grief and dealing with grief, ways that you deal with grief. It is something that I can relate to. I was talking about in a video I made earlier about movies when I was doing my top favorite movies of 2025. I was talking about Sorry Baby and how that movie I saw myself in that main character, not in every way, but I saw myself in that main character and how the feeling of having something traumatic happen to you or something bad happen to you and trying to move forward, but at the same time feeling stuck, feeling like everything else around you is moving forward but you. Whereas I saw myself in the main character of that movie, I see myself in Mayel a lot. And subsequently, Verso and the characters that, spoilers for E33, outside of the canvas. And even the characters inside of the canvas. Ultimately, I could see myself because dealing with grief is not fun. Dealing with grief is there's a variety of ways to deal with grief. Some of them are good and some of them are destructive. And I've dealt with both. And it specifically Mayel, it made me uncomfortable seeing seeing like a, not a spinning image, but like seeing myself in this character. And that's what I loved about it. That's what I loved about Sorry Baby. That's what I loved about this game. There are some things in Act 3 that are a little bit messy, but otherwise I think the story does a really good job at portraying the feeling of trying to overcome grief, and where that can lead you, how it can lead you down a good path or how it can lead you down a destructive path, evident in both endings. Because I saw myself in Mayel so much, I ended up picking Mayel's ending, and I don't know if I was an idiot or not, that was not a good decision. Didn't like that. No. But yeah. And then going back to the gameplay and the world looks great. Art direction's great. I don't care what anybody says, UE5 or not. I do think the game looks genuinely looks really good. All this considered, it's a great looking game. I really enjoyed the combat. Now I have not personally played, older Mario and Luigi games. So I personally haven't played any games with turn-based, not with parry combat, in a turn-based RPG. But that is to say, Twitter MFs and Reddit MFs, right? I have played a turn-based RPG. I have played multiple turn-based RPGs. There's a turn-based RPG on this list. There's a couple. There's this one, and then there's this one. I think that's it. And technically this one as well, right? I've played it. I love these games. Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game of all time. I can say that I think this has good turn-based RPG combat. I think it's really, really good. Even if, for some reason, there's this entire thing of Expedition 33 glazers, right? Like over glazers that will hate on turn-based RPGs, and then for no reason, and JRPG elitists hating on Expedition 33 for no reason. I'm like, y'all both suck. Y'all both trash. There are other RPGs to play. There are other really good RPGs to play. RPGs to play Trails, please. There are genuinely some really great games out there. At the same time, there's no need to bring down this game for being just one massive homage to JRPGs as a whole. You're just mad at it because people are saying something about it, or because it's not, what you personally want. There's no reason to get mad at people for that. Ironically, I actually find the JRPG elitists more annoying, and I found that I've had that opinion for years. That's not a new thing. But yeah, both y'all suck. The game's great. The game is genuinely great. It's definitely wormed its way into my top 10 games of all time. Number 10, actually. I think that's why I placed it. I would highly recommend playing it. I played it on Game Pass. I just recently rebought it on PlayStation, so I can play it on PlayStation now, not Xbox when it inevitably leaves Game Pass. I can't wait to play it again. This game, its music, its Its visuals, its characters, voice acting, Ben Starr and Jennifer English specifically. Oh my goodness. Its story just works. It does everything for me, and I love it. So yeah, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is my game of the year for 2025. Thank you for watching. I know it. Ultimately, I cannot wait to see what 2026 has for us in gaming. I will be making a video that'll come out soon. It'll take a little bit longer to make. That details my personal favorite games that I played this year overall. Just all games, whether it be games from previous years, games from 20 years ago, or games that came out this year. All of those will be on that one list. It's going to kill my throat, but I am ready for it. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye.